Let's call this meeting to order at 9:03 or so and get started with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any staff announcements or agenda changes?
None.
Thank you. This is an opportunity for the public to comment on any item of interest to the Planning Commission not on the agenda today. Do we have anyone signed up, Annette?
We don't have anybody online other than the applicant.
Okay, then we will move on to the consent agenda. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review the minutes, which I believe are the only item on our consent agenda?
Yeah, I move that we approve the minutes of July 8th, 2021.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. So 4 with Commissioner Wooster absent. And we will go ahead and get started on our regular agenda. Item 2021-011, Plan Development Permit for Gary and Susie White. And Tim, you're going to go ahead and give us a little background on this?
I am. Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning.
Good. So yes, we do have project 2021-011, which is an application for a plan development permit for Gary and Susie White. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, so hopefully you can all see it.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm still punching buttons here.
Okay.
It's been a minute since I've done this, so.
There we go.
Come on. There we go. Slideshow. Okay. All right, as I said, 2021-011 plan development permit for Gary and Susie White. Today is August 26th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. The applicant is requesting approval of a plan development permit for an as-built freestanding wooden stage. To be clear, the stage is an already existing feature on the parcel, and the applicants are seeking approval of the requested plan development permit in order to apply for an as-built building permit from the building department. The approval of the PD permit will allow the applicants to move forward with the process and getting the structure permitted. The parcel in question is zone C2 PD, general commercial plan development, and the plan development combining zone requires a permit for any construction or installation on the parcel that will have an effect on aesthetics. The PD permit process is not the final review of all of the structural requirements. That process is included in the building permit application and is the jurisdiction of the county building department. The PD review is more of an approval of the concept and a review of the compatibility with the aesthetic character of the parcel and the surrounding parcels. With this particular application, we actually have the benefit of having an existing structure to show us that the concept of the application is in fact compatible with the other structures on the parcel, compatible with other land uses in the area, and compatible with the C2 zone in general. Come on. Project is located at 1004 Highway 4 in the heart of Arnold. It's also known as Cameo Plaza. Here is an aerial view of the subject parcel. As you can see on the image on the left, shows two separate parcels that were existing in 2018. The stage was built on the northern parcel and was not in compliance because it was an accessory structure existing on a parcel without a primary structure. The applicant has since removed the boundary line separating the two parcels and made them into a larger parcel, making the stage an accessory structure to the primary commercial structure on the newly created parcel shown on the right. So what they did is they took the two parcels there on the left, got rid of the boundary line, made it one larger parcel, which was step one in coming into compliance with the stage. As I mentioned, there is an existing commercial building on the parcel with several different retail and service businesses housed within. The proposed stage is considered a permitted accessory structure to the commercial building on site. However, the PD combining zone requires that the county perform a more detailed review of the proposed project to improve the visual quality of a project and encourage more efficient land use. Here we have the site plan for the proposed project. It's admittedly a little bit hard to tell from this image, but the stage is located on the northeast corner of the parcel, facing to the southwest towards the Cameo Plaza building. In your packets, you have the full set of drawings that were included with the application, but the site plan here gives the best representation of where on the parcel the stage is located. Moving on to the plan development performance standards. Plan development combining zone has 7 key performance standards that must be met in order to meet the findings for approval. The first of these performance standards is landscape. The code says that the area equal to 10% of the gross disturbed land area must be planted with new landscape. The proposed stage is roughly about 430 square feet, requiring just 43 new square feet of landscaping. The applicant is already putting in over 2,000 square feet of new landscaping, including new sod, covering almost the entire back 1/3 of the parcel when I was there and did a site inspection. All existing landscaping and green space will also remain. The second performance standard in the PD combining zone is the design of the structures. County code says that the design of all structures shall be compatible with the project location in its natural environment. Again, in this case, we have the advantage of already having an existing structure to show us that the stage will indeed be compatible with the other existing structures, and the parcel will blend in with the natural environment. Sections C, D, E, and F of the PD performance standards simply aren't applicable to this particular application. No refuse storage is needed or proposed. Screening of the development is not required because all surrounding parcels are zone C2 PD. Although there are residential uses to the west of the parcel, screening is only required when the development is adjacent to residential zoning, not residential use. There are no signs proposed with this project, and mechanical rooftop device is not needed, nor are any proposed, so the standards E and F are just not applicable. The third standard that is relevant to the project is standard G, access and parking. The proposed development will not be adding any gross floor area to the principal use of the parcel, which is the commercial building. Therefore, no new parking spots will be required for this project. The parking that currently exists on site is sufficient to serve the existing commercial use of the parcel, and the addition of an accessory stage does not increase that parking requirement. The stage is sometimes used for special events, such as concerts, and in the past, the applicant has secured parking agreements with surrounding property owners to meet the parking requirements for those special event applications. As I mentioned, aesthetic compatibility of the proposed stage is there on the right. And the commercial structure that exists on the parcel is there on the left. As you can see, they're both wooden type structures. The stage blends in with the natural background with the trees and the grass. It's pretty compatible in natural surroundings. Doesn't cause a significant visual impact to the surrounding area. The parcel in question has a general plan land use designation of community center, which provides for a mix of commercial and residential uses, such as retail and service businesses, as well as heating establishment and other support services for residents and visitors. The use of the commercial structure and the businesses housed within are compatible with this definition as an accessory structure to the principal use of the parcel. The stage is compatible as well. The proposed project is consistent with general plan land use policy LU 5.5, which encourages the attraction of new destination venues for the performing arts. The project is also consistent with general plan land use implementation measure LU2C, which encourages development of underused parcels in the county. The addition of the stage for use during special events would both, create a destination type venue for the performing arts, and it would be a considerably higher and better use of the undeveloped parcel. As I mentioned earlier, the zoning of the parcel surrounding the subject parcel is entirely C2PD. There are, as I said, 2 residences located directly to the west of the subject parcel, but both of those are considered existing non-conforming uses in the zone. There's no expansion or change of use proposed for the existing permitted use of the parcel. Per CEQA guidelines, a notice of exemption has been prepared by staff. Project is CEQA exempt per section 15303E, which exempts the construction of a limited number of new small facilities or structures, including but not limited to accessory structures. In conclusion, the proposed existing stage is an accessory structure to an existing permitted use of the parcel. It is also an accessory structure to a permitted use, which is the special events in the zone, in the C2 zone. Performance standards of the PD combining zone will be met because the proposed stage is compatible with the existing structures on the parcel and the surrounding aesthetic. The existing landscaping will remain, and all new landscaping far exceeds the requirements for the zone, and no gross floor area will be added to the existing commercial use, so no additional parking will be required. Staff has also found the project to be consistent with the general plan and the applicable zoning code sections. As I emailed to you all yesterday, I did have to make some changes in the resolution. I added some language just to clarify how the project meets the is consistent with the county zoning code there in resolution number 2. Does anybody need me to read that whole thing, or have you had a chance to check it over?
No. Anybody else?
You needn't read it, and yes, we have had a chance to look it over.
Okay. So also, Commissioner Wooster did point out an error in the first page of the resolution under number 2, where I show the evidence for zoning code consistency. I used the word sign instead of stage. I have corrected that as well. There is the amendment to finding number 3, which was included in the email that I sent you guys yesterday, or everybody that's here on the Zoom call anyway. Other than that, any questions, comments, corrections? I'm sure I missed something.
Well, I'll have a suggestion as to the resolution, but I'm not sure this is the point to make that.
What? Does anybody have any questions for Tim?
No, I don't.
Okay. Would the applicant like to make any comments? Ms. White, is there anything you'd like to share with us? Doesn't sound like it. And Annette, it doesn't appear that we have any members of the public who want to speak to this item?
No.
Okay, then we have opened and will now close the public comment portion of the hearing. And I think we probably are ready to hear Commissioner Ladish's comments on the resolution.
Yes, well, first I want to bring this into historical perspective. Back in 2020, the county became aware that this particular stage was being used with no building permit, contrary to the county COVID orders that were then in effect. And the planning department asked the planning commission to revoke the special use permit, but a motion to that effect failed on a 2-3 vote. But at the meeting of August 27th, 2020, the planning commission modified the special event permit by adding a condition to prohibit the use of the raised platform until the building permit is issued and finalized. I understand that the stage has been used since then, contrary to that condition. And I believe the applicants have shown a disregard of the county's attempts to regulate the use of this stage and using it without a building permit up to this point. However, the matter before us is for planned development. And the question concerns aesthetics, not use. Since the planned development requirements have been met, I feel duty-bound to vote in favor of the application of a motion if a motion to approve is made and seconded. However, I would prefer not to make any such motion or second. But the suggestion I have to the resolution is at the end of the evidence of number 2, which says the applicant will need to maintain a current valid use permit to hold their special event series on the parcel, including use of the stage. I would add the language after including use of the stage, once a building permit for the stage has been issued and finalized. And other than that, there's just a typo. The third line up from the bottom on page 1, there's a word combing, which is, I'm sure, supposed to be combining.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and also, since we haven't had any public testimony presented in writing or at the meeting that I'm aware of, that language should be eliminated from the last whereas. That's what I have.
I do have a question. Tim, has there been any complaints or objections of the stage prior to being aware of its situation?
There haven't been any complaints or objections to this particular project. I did receive a phone call from a neighbor, one of the residential uses next to the parcel, just really to discuss the project, but no actual complaints were filed.
That's as to this particular project number.
Correct.
For the PD. Any other questions, discussion? Are we ready for a motion?
Let's listen. You going to read the resolution, or?
Yeah, Tim, would you like to go ahead and read the recommendation?
Absolutely. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve Resolution 2021-010 as amended, approving 2021-011 plan development permit for Gary and Susie White.
And just as a matter of clarity, does the as amended include my proposed amendments?
That's, I guess I didn't hear any.
Yes,
I'm fine with it.
yes.
It's really up to you guys. Okay, yeah, then absolutely.
I make a motion to accept the resolution as amended.
I will second that.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Passes 4-1-0 with Commissioner Wooster absent. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
And we are all the way up to Commissioner reports.
I have nothing to really say about planning, but I'd just like to go on record and thank the firefighters for everything they do in protecting life and property throughout the state, and especially here in Calaveras.
I second that.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I am so grateful to our CAL FIRE unit and all the people involved in the coordination and
they were back at it again
fire-
yesterday up in Angels Camp.
yeah, it is just,
Don't forget all the local fire districts, too.
Yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
everybody that's involved. Just have done a fantastic job. And Gina, as a stand-in for Amber, who is involved in those efforts, is there anything that you would like to report?
No, nothing really to report. We're just all staying really busy, trying to keep things moving forward. No news on the recruitment for our planning director. Obviously, we haven't recruited a planner 3 in replacement of Deborah Lewis either. So we're just keeping the wheels on the bus and doing what we do best.
Thank you. Do we know if we have anything on the agenda for our next meeting?
We have one item.
Okay, great. And if anybody else, okay, then we will adjourn at 9:24. And we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Have a good day.